He loved his fans.
He would roll down the window and speak to his fans?
Roll down the window, stick his hand out sometimes. Just anything to show his fans that he loved them.
And going specifically to the last week of his life, do you recall the rehearsals occurring at the Staples Center?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. And would there be fans at the Staples Center exterior location as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, there were.
And I assume that was true for both the Forum and center staging?
Yeah, especially the Forum and center staging.
Okay. And as a general routine, when you would take Micheal Jackson to these rehearsals at the 3 locations you've mentioned, what would you do as the rehearsals were taking place?
I was an employee, but I was a fan first. I would try to sneak and watch him, see what I can see, and that's what I usually did. But he would always have me getting something, making sure his room was okay, doing calls for the next day. So I was constantly working, but I was able to see him perform a little bit at the Staples Center.
Okay. And talking about, again, the general routine that was followed, you indicated that, and I'm going to focus specifically on the routine for rehearsals. So you would take Mr. Jackson to rehearsals in the manner you described.
Yes, sir.
You would remain at the rehearsals. Is that correct?
Unless I was gone.
Unless you had some other tasks.
Yes, sir.
And then for the return home following rehearsals, would it be the same routine with the 2 vehicles and the basic same seating arrangement?
Yes, sir. A vehicle would go in advance, let us know there's fans out there, and they would post up to make sure we still can get in safe, even though there were fans, just to have security there. And then Mr. Jackson, principal's car, then the trail car, we would stop, greet the fans. They would usually give gifts or stuff to sign. So we made sure we stopped for that. Then we would proceed to go to his home.
Okay. To 100 North Carrollwood?
To 100 North Carrollwood.
Okay. And what would be the general routine once you pulled onto the property at 100 North Carrollwood?
Well, usually the same fans beat us there, and they'll be right out there to do more greetings and more
When you said
stuff.
the same fan, you mean the fans that were
The
at...
fans that were at Staples Center would usually beat us back to the house and get out the car and wait.
So you would leave Staples Center and see fans outside?
The same exact ones.
And then they would presumably get in their car and beat you home?
They would beat us there, yes, sir. And we did the same thing. We stopped, we greeted them. His fans are great, so it wasn't a problem. But, once they would sometimes give gifts, so we'll stop, collect everything, then he would go inside.
And when you collect everything and go inside, would that be the area you've identified in people's aid, this kind of front entry or front foyer area of the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you carried gifts or any items inside, was there an area where you would leave them when you entered the home?
Yes, sir. We would walk in and we would leave the gifts on the first 2 steps. We would leave whatever material we had, clothes. We would leave it there.
And for the record, you've indicated the base of the stairs on the first floor with the stairs that you've identified on the left of the photograph?
Correct. As soon as you walk in, the stairs to your left, we would, Mr. Jackson, we would usually walk him in. We would stop there, load everything, and he would say some kind words, thank you, love, all the kind things that he say. We'll leave everything there, and then we'll exit the home.
Okay. And so as part of your normal practice, is it accurate to say you would not go upstairs?
Yes, sir.
That is accurate?
I would not go upstairs, correct.
And as far as your knowledge as a personal assistant of Micheal Jackson, was that kind of a rule across the board unless invited upstairs?
Correct. He liked his privacy, and we respected that. So unless security didn't rarely went upstairs, if ever. Maybe to carry something large, they didn't go upstairs. I went upstairs when asked. He may ask me to help set something up.
He's embarking on a narrative. I'm sorry. He's embarking on a narrative. It's a narrative. All right. The answer remains. The objection is sustained.
So you would go. Thank you, Your Honor. You would go upstairs when asked specifically.
Correct. When asked specifically.
And that was rare.
It wasn't rare.
Okay. And then security would go up very rarely.
Yeah, it's rare for security. Yes,
And you
sir.
indicated that was if they had to move some furniture or something of that
Yes,
nature.
sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Williams, do you know Conrad Murray?
Yes, sir.
Do you see him in court here today?
Yes, sir, I do.
Could you please identify him for the record?
The gentleman sitting with the gray suit.
Indicating Dr. Murray, the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sir, when did you first meet Dr. Murray?
Wow, I believe sometime in 2008.
And where?
Continuing to testify, Michael Jackson's personal assistant, Michael Amir Williams, now getting to the portion of his dealings with Dr. Conrad Murray. And his testimony has potentially become emotional because he was with the children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, as they were loaded into an SUV and followed their dad, who was in an ambulance, as they went to the hospital. We know Michael Jackson was pronounced dead short time after that. So that